Hey guys, welcome back to the channel today. Today we're going to be discussing about the differences between cash account and margin account on brokerages. Okay, so many people come to the market thinking, "Oh, well, I can't day trade because I don't have $25,000 in my account, and I've only got like 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000, and they feel like they can't day trade." Well, I'm here to tell you guys, don't get fooled by that because you can day trade with very little money. You can day trade without the 25K minimum and every single day too. And people don't believe it, but there's a strategy to it. Okay. Everybody's got different brokerages. And I'm going to go ahead and knock out the odd man here, but you cannot day trade with Robinhood unless, without the 25K. You just can't. This broker, you cannot day trade, period, because they have their limitations and their restrictions. And in my opinion, it's a free broker. It's going to have its problems. Now, the ones I'm going to point out here today that you can day trade with is going to be E-Trade and TD Ameritrade. Okay. These are the top two. Yes, you do got to pay for some commissions and things of that nature, but those are the top brokers that we're going to be talking about that do allow you to day trade. Webull right here is a free broker, and for the most part, I think you can almost practically day trade with this one too. As far as interactive brokers, I think there is a possibility with cash accounts. The others, I'm not so sure on. I'd have to actually do more double checking on that, but for sure, E-Trade and TD, these are my top go-to choices when it comes to trading with small accounts. I trade with small accounts all the time with my students and all, and they need to learn how to grow their, consistent gains with their accounts. But the most common account that a lot of new traders go to seems to always be Robinhood, and they're stuck. It's a bad situation to get in. I can't I can't say enough bad things about Robinhood. It's constantly, they have no customer service. You can't contact them. There's been, theft on their part from where, customers try to, get out of their trades and things of that nature, and the platform's locked out. There's people been able to log into their platforms and literally steal their money out of their accounts. So it's pretty crazy situation. But as a day trader, do not suggest Robinhood. As a small time little hobbyist trader that does a lot of overnight trades and stuff, sure, it's probably fine for that. But as a day trader, guys, E-Trade is my go-to. TD is my number two. And even some of the students are messing with Webull, and there seems to be decent action with that. It is a free service, but they do have a little more limitations than what you are going to have with the paid services like E-Trade or TD. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get into it, guys. There is a lot of great stuff you guys can hopefully learn off of this session I got for you today. But you can day trade. There is some rules and regulations. Kind of got to work your way around. Budget your trading account, things of that nature, that it does make functionable for you without having to just wait for one perfect trade all day and then wait for one perfect trade on Tuesday, then Wednesday, and so on, and you're stuck with 3 per week. I mean, that right there is destructive to the trading community. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into it, guys, and here we go. So there's several types of these brokerage accounts, okay, but mostly they're variants of 2 basic account types. Okay, each one of these accounts have different criterias in mind. Okay, some are most of the part, there are going to be individual trading accounts, but one is going to have a regulation that goes with a margin account and one that goes with a cash account. So when you're setting up your account, okay, you're going to have to give it the choice that do you want a margin account or do you want a cash account? And some people are like, well, what's the difference? I don't even know what the difference is. Well, there is some huge key benefits from one versus the other. Okay, and we'll go ahead and break that into it. But most straightforward, a cash account. Okay, this is the one that you're going to want to choose when it comes to day trading with less than 25,000 in your account. Okay, don't be choosing the margin account unless you've got over 25K in your account. Okay. But if you've got less than $25,000 in your account, you're going to have to choose that cash account because it doesn't have the regulations. Put most straightforward, a cash account requires the client to pay in full for their securities. Okay, so they buy for their account. If they have $500, they can only buy $500 worth of securities and can't use the securities in their account as collateral to borrow more money. Okay, so what's different about the margin is it's like a credit card account or a credit account with your broker. Okay, it's like the broker's giving you a loan to use their money, and they're using your cash as collateral so you can continually trade. But they're only giving you 3 trades a week, or 5-day trading period. And that sucks, okay? Now, that was a rule that was changed back in, I think, 2008 or something, when we had the crash go on with markets. But anyway, that's another story. Now, margin account allows clients to borrow money from their broker to buy securities, using those securities as collateral for the loan, okay? Now, here's the benefits of the cash account, and you guys are going to like, man, I thought cash accounts were crap, but no, there's a whole different series of ways you can trade with it versus a margin account, okay? All brokers want to lead you to the margin account. They don't want you to know about the cash account benefits, okay? Because there is no benefits for them. When you're borrowing money from them on a margin account, they're making money, okay? It's helping them get some interest off of you borrowing money from them, okay? They want to get you stuck. They don't have no goals in mind to help your day trading career and tell you, hey, get a cash account. It's the best for you guys as day traders. No, they're not going to tell you that, because they want you to put 25 grand in there and, use their margin, pay for their interest, and all that goes in hand with the margin account, okay? So the primary benefits of a cash account applies to those who have small trading accounts, okay, which do not meet the pattern day trade rule, which is that PDT rule required by the margin accounts of $25,000. The PDT does not apply to cash accounts, okay? How many people didn't realize that? Well, wow. It does not even apply to a cash account, okay? There is no PDT rule on a cash account, but there is on the margin account, and that's what gets people stuck, okay? Now, if a trader with a cash account has the capital to support this, they can make hundreds of trades on a given day. The kicker here is that cash is used in a trade needs to settle before it can transacted with again, okay? Now, I'll break this down a little bit for you and give you some examples. Now, the next benefit is that cash account holders have no risk of receiving a margin call. That margin call is when your broker decides to terminate the margin loan they've extended to you while you're in the middle of a trade. In the situation of a margin call, your broker will usually liquidate the securities you bought to cover that loan. If you owe them any more money after that, you're required to deposit more cash or securities to cover that loan. Okay, so you can get in some sticky situations if you don't know how to trade with a margin account, even if you're over 25K. Okay, but under 25K, you're screwed. Okay, 3-day trades a week is not going to cut it. At least not where I come from. Now, drawbacks of this cash account. The biggest drawback to cash accounts for traders is that after making a transaction in a cash account, the cash used must go through a settlement period, okay, which is 2 days after the trade day. Now, I'll give you a little bit example here, okay? Let's say you have a $1,000 account. You use $1,000 of that money to make a day trade on Monday. That $1,000 won't be available for trading again until Wednesday morning. Okay, so it takes two trading days to settle those funds. With a margin account, since it's on credit or a borrowed loan from the bank, it literally is, settled instantly, giving you the case to day trade again and then day trade again. And then your 3-day trades are up. Okay. But what's different about the cash account is you're using your own cash to place a trade. And then that cash, it takes 2 days to settle on common shares, okay? Just a regular stock that you're buying, 100 shares of and then selling 100 shares of, okay? There's a little kicker to this with options, and I'll break that down a little bit to you as well. I'm an options trader, and this is the fastest way to be growing accounts on cash and with options, okay? Options has different regulations than regular shares or things of that nature. So I'm just sharing this with you guys. If you want to play the $1,000, let's just say you got $1,000 account and you want 2-day trades a day, then make, 2 $500 trades. You make 2 $500 trades on Monday, and you'll have to wait Wednesday to make 2 more $500 trades. And then you have to wait Friday to make 2 more $500 trades. Okay. But here's the situation. You can budget this out. Let's say you did $1,000. Let's say you did $500 trade on Monday. Then you got your other $500 you didn't use on Monday, but you can use on Tuesday. And then Wednesday rolls around and you can use your $500 that settled from Monday on Wednesday. And then the Thursday comes around, you can use your other $500 that you traded on Tuesday that settled now for Thursday, okay? You can keep that cycle going. One $500 trade every single day, plus profits, okay? If your profits, you made money on those trades too, that gets included in the settlement as well. So I'll break this down a little bit with you on options, guys, okay? So trade settlement is only 1 day with options. This is the amazing part. So instead of 2 days, okay, 2 days with regular stock, but it's only 1 day settlement for options on a cash account. So for example, if you use that $1,000 on Monday in a trade, it will be available to use the following day, following Tuesday, to repeat again. So if I used $1,000 on Monday to make a day trade on options, I'm done for the day after I use my full account's worth of money for trades. Then Tuesday, the next day rolls around, I can use that same money plus my profits to trade again the following day. Okay. So in that sense, I could use the full amount every Monday, and then the full amount every Tuesday, and then the full amount every, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and so on. Okay. But if I budget things out to do, let's say I wanted 4 $250 trades, I could do 4 $250 trades on Monday, 4 $250 trades on Tuesday, 4 $250 trades on Wednesday, and so on. You guys kind of get the point. It literally settles the next day. Okay. Now with stocks, you have to wait a day of delay. That's why you have to budget it out to where you'd split this and you'd split your account size in half for Monday, split the other, and use the other half for the following day, and then that first half that you used on Monday would be available for Wednesday. So while the PDT rule doesn't apply to cash accounts, to make several day trades in a week, you need to use small portions of your account. Imagine if you had a $1,000 trading account, to make 10 day trades in a week, you'd need to limit your position size to $100 trades for each trade, giving you 10 day trades per day with 50 total trades per week with options. You imagine that? You get 50 with a $1,000 account and $100 trades, you can get 50 day trades in a whole entire week versus 3 on a PDT roll. I mean, that's pretty sucky, right? So the options, you're going to get yourself 50 day trades a week if you do 10 $100 trades every single day out of a $1,000 account. Okay. Pretty impressive. You can still make money. Okay. Options will run 20, 30, 50, and 100% if you pick the correct options, which in our chat room, we definitely cover in on this and try to make as much money on these big running options all the time. There's big money to be made, but you can double that $100 pretty quickly, triple it, quadruple it, depending on the options play that you're actually playing. Now, the next drawback for cash accounts, especially hard hitting to momentum traders who have small accounts, you can't sell securities short. Okay, so if you want to be a short seller and you're like, oh, I want to short all these stocks down. Well, here's the problem that kind of hurts situations with people that want to short regular stock. Okay, cash accounts you can't. Okay, that's the only drawback with it. You can't. But here's the plus side. If you got an options added on your cash account, you can short the short side of a stock with option puts. Okay, so short selling requires that margin account because you're borrowing the securities from your broker. Okay, that's why you can't do it with a cash account, but you can with a margin. This is the only plus side that I have any argument that some people are like, well, I can't short stocks if I don't have a margin account. Well, if that's your bread and butter, then I guess stick with it. But you're going to be stuck with 3 little short trades every single week, and that's all you get. Okay, I'll take my 50 day trades on a cash account any day over my 3 little PDT rule trades in a margin account. Okay, now this hurts many momentum traders who love to short sell parabolic, penny stocks that are really flying pretty hard. But with options, okay, here's the plus side with this. But with options, traders can short stocks with a cash account by buying and selling puts for the downside moves. Okay, puts are for downside, calls are for upside. Okay, I've got lessons, I've got classes on the guys how to teach my students how to understand options trading. I don't suggest you guys just jumping straight into options without really understanding what you're doing, okay? It is a very high leveraged way of trading and can make you tons more money than any penny stock will or regular stock period, okay? I've never seen money be able to make as fast and quickly as you can with options. I mean, we have 1,000% runners some days. And that's a huge move. I mean, 1,000% on $100, you can turn that $100 into a 10 grand pretty quickly. Now, benefits of a margin account, okay? So here's the margin account that obviously some people are like, oh, well, maybe I've got 25K. Maybe I want to, sit into the margin account and see what I got here. Now, here's the benefits, okay? The primary benefits of a margin account for traders is the intraday margin extended to you by your broker. Now, the standard for retail brokers is for 4-to-1 intraday margin and 2-to-1 overnight margin. Okay, so this means that if you have $1,000 in your trading account, your broker, you can trade with $4,000 intraday and 2,000s for any position that you hold for more than one trading session or overnight. Okay, now what's that saying is that your broker wants you to use margin. Okay, you've only got $1,000, but they're like, hey, we'll give you an extra $3,000 if you want to make a trade. One trade, obviously, in the one day, because you only got 3 per week. But we'll give you an extra $3,000 to make this trade. Like, man, that's impressive. But the little kicker on this, guys, is they're going to charge interest on you borrowing the extra $3,000 in your margin account, to make that trade. And if the trade goes wrong, guys, let's just say you got into the trade with a full $4,000 and you had $1,000 account, and the trade dropped 25%. You've lost $1,000 on that trade. Now you've got $3,000, but you know who gets the money? Your broker is going to take his $3,000 back, and you're left with $0 in your account. Okay, that you're screwed. That's why I do not advise anybody to just jump into borrowed money. Only use the cash you have in your account to trade, even on a margin account. Okay, just so it makes no sense. Why would I want to borrow more money? Obviously, to get in something more lucrative, you think, but I never use more money than I have in my account. It's common sense. Don't push your limits and have to pay that interest that you're borrowing extra money. And the same difference here is they got 2-to-1 for overnight margin, which is $2,000. So you can use twice the amount of your account. I would rather, use the cash account, get consistent little gains here, and grow my money and use my own money versus paying interest on borrowed money. And in the chances that I lost some of the borrowed money, I'd have to pay my broker back, which of course that's what incurs the margin calls. Now, the next benefit is the ability to short sell securities. Okay, short selling is only allowed for margin accounts. So if you short sell as part of your strategy, a margin account is basically required. It should be noted, though, that many brokers require you to have a certain amount of cash to be able to begin short selling. Okay, so for example, E-Trade doesn't allow you to short sell until you have $2,000 in your trading account. I talked about Robinhood in the beginning. They don't allow short selling, period, even with their margin account. Okay, so it's kind of a screwed up situation any way you look at it there. But with E-Trade and some of the other brokers, you can short sell with a margin account, but you have to have a minimum of $2,000 in there in order to do that. But with options, buy puts. There's no interest fees. There's no there's no hard to borrow rates when you're trying to short sell something. If the stock has options, you can play the freaking puts, and it don't cost you a dime more than if you were to play the upside as well. Drawbacks of a margin account as well here. Okay, so the primary disadvantages of margin accounts that they've subjected to the pattern day trading rule, that PDT rule that everybody dreads. Okay, and it's a common problem for small accounts, which states those that with less than $25,000 of cash in their account can't make more than 3 day trades within a rolling 5-day period. So if you buy a stock on Monday and sell it on Monday, you have to wait for that trade to clear on next Monday. Okay. Now, if you have 2 day trades left and you got Tuesday comes around, you're like, oh, well, let me jump into this trade, and you sell it on Tuesday as well. The same day you buy it on, you can't trade that trade till next Tuesday. Now, Wednesday rolls around. You buy into one trade and you're like, well, and you sell it on Wednesday. You can't sell it until the following Wednesday. In a sense, guys, this is more or less a cash account with even farther. It's more of a cash account with a 5-day settlement rate, if you look at it that way, versus, instant, settlement rate. Obviously, the only advantage of that is if you did all 3 day trades in one day, and then you got to wait for a 5-day settlement fee, 5-day settlement to come along till you can use those 3 day trades again. I've seen so many people come to the market like, well, I only have 1 day trade left yet, so I can't take this trade. I'm like, dude, you got to get yourself a cash account. If you've got cash in there, you can trade whatever cash you have that's settled. I mean, you can't get any more simplicity than that for small accounts. For this reason, I recommend that most day traders with accounts who do not meet this PDT requirement or don't have over the 25K either split their account into two margin accounts, giving you 6-day trades in a rolling 5-day period, or even use that cash account. Okay. The PDT doesn't apply to cash accounts, but the cash used needs to be settled. Okay. So you have to have that, wait for those funds to settle in order to do that. The next drawback is that you're vulnerable to that margin call, which usually leads to the liquidation of a position you would prefer to continue holding. Because cash accounts require you to buy securities with all of your own cash, you can't receive a margin call. However, you usually need to worry about a margin call if you're shorting stocks or close to maxing out your margin levels in a risky position with that margin account. The last thing I'll say isn't much of a drawback, but it's something to keep in mind when using the margin. Borrowing on margin through most retail brokers is very expensive. Okay, this is what I was telling you guys. They're going to have those hard to borrow rates. Some of these charges several percentage points above the prime rates, which means that you're paying much interest, reducing your expected value on each trade in which you use margin. What's great about this, when you're shorting stocks with a cash account on options puts, there is no hidden fees. There is no margin fees. There is no interest rates. You're literally just playing the raw money move on an options contract straight down. Okay, it's beautiful. Bottom line, at any time you usually change your account type quite easily. Okay, you can change it if you're on a margin, guys, right now, and you're like, man, well, I kind of like this idea with a cash account. Let me go ahead and see what I can do. That you can call your broker. The major users brokers firms have a 24-hour customer service for the most part, making an account type change quite easy for those of us in the U.S. If your account doesn't meet the PDT requirement, you should think hard about which account type suits you more. Personally, I would recommend using small position sizes with the cash account, which gives you more opportunities to gain market experience through trading rather than being too gun shy and afraid of using one of your day trades. Okay, it's a common problem. However, for some, it might make more sense to keep dry powder in your margin account and only use your 3-day trades per week on just A-plus setups. Okay, so it depends on your trading style, but this is my recommendation when it comes to small trading accounts. So funds to settle times. Okay, cash account only has one settlement day on options, but 2 settlement days on regular stocks. And then finally, you can trade. Margin account, it settles instantly after closing your previous trade, but you only get 3 per 5-day period. Now, here's an examples of growing a small account with 20% per week. I've got it broken down from 99 bucks all the way to $1 million here. And we're going to be actually doing this $100 challenge or $99 challenge starting in January of 2021 here. So guys, if you guys want to join us on this, we're going to live trade it. Instead of doing 20% a week, we'll probably trying to do 10 or 20% a day if we can find good setups to do it, because you have to be very careful. This is all going to be done on a cash account. So if you guys want to follow along, trade with us, whatever, sign up for the live chat room. I've got that actually covered right here. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Actually got it covered right here, guys. You can just sign up for our live stream. We have a 7-day free trial as well, and you guys can trade with us live. It's all over live stream, just like I'm talking to you here. But it's such a way that you guys can trade along and try to grow that little 20%. But I've got it broken down in what I'm looking for. That first trade needs to make 19 bucks. You got 118 after that. And you start stair-stepping your way up, and we're going to try to do this for the entire year. I've got it broken down into 52 weeks here. 20% a week is all you got to make in order to do this. Everybody's going to be different. So I'm going to be doing it straight on options with the cash account. So it'll be pretty fun to be able to do that. And I've also got this broken down here too, guys. If you want to have rules or goals for yourself, for your growth, $50 a day is $12,600 a year for 252 trading days in a year. Okay. $100 a day is 25 grand a year. 150 a day is 37 a year. 200 is $50,000 a year. I mean, this is getting on up to, people with good full-time jobs. This is what they make a year. And they're like, man, if I just understand my ethics and styles in the market here, trade with a cash account and just make $200 a day, that's pretty substantial. I mean, think about it this way. If you've got a $2,000 account, okay, all I need to do is split that into 2 trades, let's say $1,000 for one trade and $1,000 for another trade on Monday. And if I make 10% on $1,000 trade, that's $100. If I make another 10% on another $1,000 trade, that's another $100. That gives me $200 a day. Or I can put the whole $2,000 into one trade and make it run to 10%, and I've got my 200 bucks. Okay. Obviously, if it runs to 20%, you're going to be knocking on the $400 bracket here, and that's double the money per year, $100,000 a year. That's really good money. So it's all about those small, consistent goals, guys. You got to start small, build those accounts one little section at a time. I'm always here to try to help my students be able to learn this process, get through the end, become, consistent day traders, be able to lose their jobs. This pandemic here with COVID has destroyed a lot of people's incomes in certain ways that I'm so truly grateful to be able to come to the stock market every day and be able to do this every day without any fear of me losing my income or any fear of me losing my job, et cetera. Okay. So there's a lot of advantages here that can really help me as a day trader. So anyway, guys, I want this to hopefully help for you guys if you're watching this video here. But there's a lot of benefits to this. Also, I've got this example with a $5,000 trading account for common shares instead of options. Okay, maybe you guys don't want options or have anything to do with options. Here's an example with $5,000, and these funds are settled on Monday. You want 2 day trades per day with 5 trading days in a week. So let's say you use $1,250 per trade on 2 separate trades on Monday, and you make a $500 profit. Okay. So you're using $2,500 out of the 5,000. So you're splitting it right down the middle on Monday, and your account is now at 5,500 plus, the $500 you made in profit. Tuesday rolls around, you use another 2 day trades of 1,250 per trade, and you make another $500 profit. Now your account is now at $6,000. Okay. It takes two days for funds to settle. So it's Wednesday now, and your Monday's $2,500 with the $500 profit is now available. Now you can set your goals to $1,500 per trade on Wednesday for 2 day trades. And using this cash account only method, you can day trade every single trading day, okay, just by budgeting the account in such a manner with common shares. What's nice about options, I don't really have to budget it. It's just using my settled funds every single day, okay? So anyway, guys, I hope you found this valuable. If you did, please hit that subscribe button here on YouTube, hit the like button, and I'm going to put some links down in the description below so you guys can actually join our chat room if you want to. It's a free 7-day trial. We've got a free Discord as well in there. And I hope to have you guys in there. If you guys want to sign up for the classes, I'll throw that description down below as well, because I teach this stuff every single day for 3-month classes, and you guys have access for that for an entire year. But I hope you guys found it beneficial, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.